Thank you for joining us today. We are going to do a demo on how to set up a new account using a test account. So when you get online with us, we create a list of test accounts for you is what we call them. They're basically account numbers available for you to use when you install a new customer. And those test accounts are going to be found in the inactive customers list. So if we, on the dashboard, select that, we can look on here for our next available account. In this case, it's 010800 for me, Dynamark test account. Your accounts will have your company name on it so you can easily identify them. So we go to the next available one, we select that, and it's going to take us into the account where we can then make the changes to put the new customer information in. So once we get in here, we can start making the changes by clicking the edit button here. And this will bring up the area to change the information and put the new customer in. So the first thing we want to do is go over here and select what type of customer this is going to be. Is it going to be a commercial account or residential? So it's very important to remember that we want to select this, because by selecting commercial or residential, it's going to put programming into the account for default action patterns. For example, if commercial and there's a fire alarm, it pulls for us to dispatch first by UL code. In this case, we're going to put in a residential account, and we go over here to the name, and we will go ahead and put the name in. So this account is going to be for a Michelle Lynn, and then we can go in here and we can start changing some of the information to put in the customer's address. And we just go through here and we put them all in. So we put the city, which is going to be Hagerstown. We can select that there. And the state, this is going to be in Maryland. So we will go in here and find Maryland. Okay. And then we put in the zip code. And if you need to change the time zone, you can do that right here. We're in Eastern time, so we're done with this section. We're going to go ahead and click done, and that will update the information for us over here. And then we can move over to this side that says contacts. Now what I'd like to specify here, that this is contacts for the account being the contact for the site. So this is a residential home, so we would put the home phone number here. This is not going to be where we put the contact list. That's coming a little bit later in this video. So when we want to add the phone number, we can click here on the edit mode. It's going to say phone number, so we click add, and right here is the type. We can choose what type of phone number this is going to be. This is going to be a home phone number, so we will select that, and we will put that in. If they have a second home phone number they would like us to call, we can add that as well. But this one only has the one, so we're going to put that in. And click done. So what we have done now is we've changed the name and the address and added the primary phone number for the account. So after that, we'll go over here to the Systems tab. We will select that. Select Event Monitoring. The toolbox, this is the main system. This is going to be the information for the panel. The transmitter information and everything necessary for it to communicate with the central station is already added. That's one of the benefits of having a test account and working from there. So all we really need to do is go in here and add the zone list. So if we have more than one area or partition, we can add those here. Otherwise, if it's just a single area, we're going to go down to the zone list, and we're going to start putting those in. So we'll click edit for the zone list. We'll scroll up, and right here will be the area where we can start adding. So we'll click the add button, and we will put the zones in. So we're going to put 4 zones in today for this system. So we have a front door. We click add to do another one. This will be zone 2. This will be the back door. We click add and do zone 3. Call it motion. And the last zone will be zone 4. And we're going to call that kitchen smoke. So we add that. If you have more zones, you can continue to add them by just selecting add and just put the new zones in. Very simple. When we're done with that, we click done. And now we have the zone list in. So after we finish with the zone list, we want to go over to the contact list. We're going to put that in. And this is the contact list. We have two things here. We have contact list and call list. For most accounts, you're probably going to just use the contact list. So this is going to be the people that the customer wants us to call to notify on an alarm. A call list is something that we can use for making variations for specific things of the contact list. So the call list would only be a function of the contact list. So call list would be used for something, for example, a big fire system in a commercial building that has a call list for floor 1, let's say, and a call list for floor 2. If you want to keep those separated, we can do that. But most of the time, we're probably just going to use the contact list, and we're going to put these people in the order that we would like them to be called. So we go over here to the plus button, and this is where we're going to start adding the contacts in. So we bring this up, and it gives us the add area. And under type, we want to select one of two things most of the time. We have an ECV type here, okay? An ECV type is going to be for enhanced call verification. So anybody labeled as an ECV type is going to be called before police dispatch. In essence, that is what the enhanced call verification is for. You can add more than one ECV type. You can add as many as you want. That will make them so the system automatically pulls them before police dispatch. So in this case, we're going to put the homeowner as an ECV type, and we'll put the cell phone in. So we'll call the home phone at first. We put that in on the details page, and now we want to call the customer's cell phone. So we can put in here mobile. So there is the customer's mobile phone number. Now we want to add the contact list. Let's say it's some family members or maybe a neighbor or whoever they want to be notified after an alarm. For everyone else, we're going to label them as a contact. Contacts by the system are pulled after police dispatch to notify of the alarm. So in here we will put Steve. And we also want to put in Bob. Bob is another person that they want on the contact list, so we're going to put that in right here, label another contact, and we'll put Bob in, and Bob's number is as follows. And now we have our contact list put in. So we can click done, and that is now in. Now we want to go back to the details page, and we want to add the password and the authorities here. So in order to get that information on the details page, we click on the details here, and now as you can see, it's going to give us more information to select. So let's go ahead and put the password in. We're going to click edit, and the password for the account. You can also, if you like, you can add a duress by clicking the duress icon and putting in red. So if the customer was to give us the password red, we would know that they were under duress and dispatch the police immediately. So speaking of authorities, we want to go ahead and add those as well. So we're going to click the edit button there in authorities, and we'll search for the police. And I like to search by name, so we'll do that, and we will just type in, I know that this customer needs a Washington County dispatch, being that the area that they are in, so I'll type that in, and I see that I have Washington County, Maryland Emergency Communications here. I'll select them, and that adds them to the account. Now we also had a fire zone on here, so we want to put the fire department in as well. So I'm going to do the same thing, search by authority name, and I'll type in Washington County again. And I'll select search. And there is the emergency communications number that I need. I will select that. And if you had a medical zone or a medical panic, or if you wanted to add medical, you can just do the same thing for medical. We did not put any medical zones in this system, so we're just going to go ahead and do the fire and police. And now we're going to click done. So now we've added all the basic information into the account. So we've done the name, the address, the primary phone number, the password, the zones, and the authorities. Now let's say this customer has a permit that needs to be put on the account. So we could go down here to permits. We'll select that. So after we click the permits, we can go in here and we can click the add button. And all we have to do is put the permit number in there and select what type it is. This one is going to be for police, and the status is going to be to normal. If there's an issue and you get notification from the police department that they won't respond anymore, you can go in here and you can change that to no response. But generally, we select normal. You can also put a status date or an expiration date in if you would like. This permit does not expire. So we're going to go ahead and click done, and we have added the permit to the account. We will click back on the details page again. And we can see all the information is now populating very well. And down here is the activity log, and we are going to make a video on showing you how to check signals on that activity log. But for all intents and purposes on this account, we have added the information that we need to monitor the account. Now we notice over here that the account is in an inactive status, because when we make these test accounts, we make them inactive. So you can go ahead and you can test signals on these inactive accounts without having to put the account on test. But when you're ready to make the account active, you just email dealerservices@dynamarkmonitoring.com to activate account, in this case 010800, and they will go into the account. They will double check it, make sure that we have everything we need, the password, the authorities, the zones, a contact list, and they will send you back a complete that they have made the account active. And then the account is ready to go and your new customer is in. Thank you for watching this video on how to put on new customers using an inactive account.